Hey everyone, we're going to tie my favorite woolly bugger variation. This is called the complex twist bugger. It was put out there by the guys over at Fly Fish Food, and it is a trout catching machine. It also has some great techniques in it that you can apply to tons of other flies that really build up nice, flashy, really durable bodies. So let's get started. We need a hook first. Okay, this is a 2461. Size 2. Great, really thin, sharp hook that is one of our favorites. A medium cone head, just standard there. And a little bit of wire, just to seat in there. All right, start your thread behind the wire. This is 6/0 in black. You can also use olive or whatever your favorite thread is. Just don't go too thick. All right, wrap back to the barb. We need to add in our tail. Barred Marabou from MFC, great stuff. You get tons of it, and it's all really fine, really select feathers. It's not a bundle, they've been selected, and they do a really good job with this stuff. There's a lot of material to work with, so we're going to want to do about a hook shank in length. Measure that from your eye back. All right. A few pinch wraps there. And I like to wrap the whole feather as part of the underbody, and it fills this gap. So I wrap that all the way up to the wire. Trim your excess. Toss it. Bring your thread back to about mid, maybe the point here, and we're going to tie in our pearl crystal flash. Take one strand, that's all you need. I split it in half, and what I'm going to do is simply wrap it around the thread on the near side, bring it back, take one more piece, fold it. And this way you can select exactly where you want it to go. And with control on my left hand, I can keep it on that far side of the hook. Trim it. And we start putting in our body materials. Now, if you've tied a regular woolly bugger, remember the first thing you're going to wrap goes in last. It sounds goofy, but you'll see what I mean. So first we're going to tie in our strung Shlappen in olive. And strip some of the barbs down from the tip there. This will give you something you can tie in. And try and reduce the amount of wraps you're using right here at the back, otherwise you get a big hump and then it tapers down. So 3 wraps, 2 wraps per material. We're going to use some UV polar chenille. This is olive copper blend. There's some really good mixes out there. Another one of my favorites is the Aqua Veil in a peanut brittle color with olive. Looks real good. Okay, great. We're going to keep this stuff out of the way. Check out my rhinestones. Okay, and for the body, we're going to use a little bit of dyed pearl braid here in olive. You can also dub this. You can put a big dubbing loop together. You can touch dub it. You can use all sorts of stuff underneath here. You can use regular woolly bugger chenille if you like. I like a really low bulk underbody with this fly because it's not the main deal. It's not the star of the show. The star of the show is this Shlappen and UV polar chenille. So this is just kind of the supporting cast, if you will. So this doesn't have to be perfect underneath. Just cover it all up. Wrap up to the cone. Secure it. Trim your excess. You can see these come together pretty quick. If I were tying a bunch of these, what I would do is I would take the cone, the hook, the weight, put that all together, tie the tails with the flash, and then go on and do a bunch of those all together, and then come back and do schlappen and flash, because this part takes a little bit longer. And what I'm going to do is take a little alligator clip here. This is just one I grabbed from the hardware store, but Loon makes a really, really nice one. And I'm going to clamp in up at the butts there. I know that's probably tough to see. And I'm going to twist them all together. And this is going to create one really durable, really nice looking rope that I can wrap up. One tip here, if you keep this Marabou wet and clip it out of the way, that flash won't get sucked into your fly, which tends to happen to me once in a while. While you're twisting this, comb it out. Don't use too much power or you'll just tear the whole thing. But twist her up, brush it, twist it, brush it, repeat. Okay, great. And try and orient all your fibers facing back so that when you wrap, you're not wrapping down on any of them. Great. Now, open wraps, I really like all these fibers to be able to move, and I just don't think you get much out of wrapping a super dense fly. You know, at least in Michigan, where our water is really fairly pedestrian and slow, we want as much movement in these as possible from current. So any little push of current will hopefully move this fly, and that'll communicate life and make it look nice and real. All right, wrap that up to the cone. Secure it. Try not to lose anything in there. Watch your thread. Trim your excess there, great. And at this point, I'll comb most of that out up towards the front using my ultimate dubbing brush from Hairline. This thing gets a lot of use at my desk. All right. Now you could finish the fly here, you could. But what I like to do is give it a little bit of a collar. It gives a different look to it, and it fills this gap up. It just looks nice in the box too, honestly. There's no necessary need for it. I think that this will still catch fish without it. We're going to use some laser dub and just grab a chunk of this stuff, and we want to orient all the fibers here. It's called carding. And if you want, you could use this whole thing. I used to do that, but I think it overpowers the whole fly. Remember, this is the star of the show. This is another piece of supporting cast. So what we do, trim that in half, set half down, and we're gonna, again, reorient the fibers, because you're gonna have some longer, some shorter. We want everything kind of set to the middle. Set that over the cone. Really loose wraps here. If you go too tight, it'll push everything out of the way. After 2 of them, you can cinch down. Great. Rotate your hook. Same thing on the bottom. Oh, I got a piece of feather in there. That happens. All right, 2 loose wraps. Make sure you're not wrapping down on the material on the other side. Try and keep your thread pushed right up against the cone for this, and you'll really secure it. Great. Pull it out of the way. Grab your whip finish tool now and rock out a 5 or 6 turn whip finish. Being stubborn. There we go. Trim your thread. Grab your brush again. Lots of brushing. And brush and rotate. You've just created a trout catching machine that you can tie in tons of different colors. Olive is probably my #1, but closely followed by tan with the gold UV Polar Chenille. Great mix. All right, tie this up, go catch some fish, let us know how you do. Thanks for watching. Check us out on our YouTube channel, our Instagram, Facebook, and our website. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you out there.